Bowl 54, Kansas City Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers. This is basically a follow-up from my first video that I did. It was called 2019 Super Bowl Championship by the numbers, something like that. Anyway, a follow-up from that, and that video was basically sort of giving a inside story on how I have information on the Chiefs being banned from ever going back to the Super Bowl since Super Bowl 4 of 1970, and the fact that they did go back for the 2019-2020 season, that it could possibly bring on negative implications for the fans, at least in the region of Midwest region, I should say. Wasn't expecting a narrative pandemic, for lack of a better term. Was basically believing it would be something more on the order of geoengineering, maybe extraordinary tornadic activity for Kansas City, Missouri area, maybe even earthquake to coincide with the fault line down in southeast of Missouri. But not to say I'm disappointed that didn't happen, but I just was not expecting this COVID-19 situation. And I believe, what I'm getting at is I believe that it's a fulfillment of prophecy, what we are witnessing now, dealing with the red horse and the Kansas City Chiefs actually having a red horse as a mascot named Warpaint in the Super Bowl parade on February 5th. They paraded this red horse with it was a red shroud with no gold or white to complete the team's color scheme. It was just all red, and I believe that was esoteric for Revelation chapter 6 verse 4. Red coloration, general red coloration in the Super Bowl, the opening act with Shakira, I believe that's how you pronounce her name. Predominantly a reddish tone color to represent Kansas City Chiefs. And the Kansas City Chiefs victory, along with the esoteric meaning of Revelation 6:4. I will let clips, I'm going to show certain clips of the Super Bowl halftime show. I'm not going to show the whole thing. Pretty raunchy display as usual, but that's not the focus here. The focus is on the predictive programming dealing with COVID-19, and it was other predictive programming dealing with Jennifer Lopez's performance dealing with the Tower of Babel. The symbolism here that I'm showing her on this tower. The Tower of Babel was definitely presented, and I'm going to use some ancient texts from the book of Jasher, or some people say book of Jasher, and the book of the Jubilees to coincide with my narrative dealing with Super Bowl 54 and the predictive programming. I will continue.
Wide open, the body's craving, deep and hungry. In the forest.
With that commercial theme song being sung,
The only hard seltzer made with pure beach vibes.
Shakira definitely knew, as far as the way it was arranged for her to perform, there was foreknowledge of Corona using that theme song. And Corona is well known, the whole Corona extra, I should say, the beverage is well known for controversy as far as being symbolic for the coronavirus. And here's a commercial here being shown, so-called canceled commercials for the year of 2020, saying it's contagious, stay indoors. These commercials, I really don't know if these were actual commercial ads for Corona Extra or these spoofs. Regardless of whether they were actual commercials that were going to be released, where there's one that says stay inside, whether or not these are real commercials to be released or not, the knowledge overall about Corona Extra coincided with coronavirus. And I do believe this is why Shakira performed that, basically that theme song. I don't know what artist actually wrote that song, but it was definitely a theme for the Corona Extra commercial. And this is the connection with the Super Bowl performance, connecting with the actual coronavirus, being in the category of predictive programming by Shakira. And to wrap this up, the next section covers Jennifer Lopez's performance as the imagery of her being on the high tower. I consider this to be symbolism for the Tower of Babel, as she is in a black coloration, black theme, which I believe represents the black horse. But not to digress, the Tower of Babel is definitely mentioned in the book of Jubilees, the 10th chapter. I'm going to read from the verse 8. And in the 30th Jubilee, in the first year of the second week, Peleg took himself a wife whose name was Lamna, the daughter of Sinor, and she bare him a son in the 4th year of this week, and called his name Raul. I believe that's how you pronounce that. For he said, behold, the children of men have become evil through the wicked purpose of building themselves a city and a tower in the land of Shinar. Again, this occurred in the 30th Jubilee. A Jubilee year, in order to make this all make sense, a Jubilee year is 49 years. And there are 7 weeks within the 49 years. So 1 week in a Jubilee period is 7 years. So 7 times 7 is 49. So 1 Jubilee year is 49. And that number 49 is very relevant when it comes to applying to the Super Bowl 54. The 49ers were one of the opponents. So the 49ers represents the year of Jubilee, which is 49 years. So there is your connection with the number 49. The Tower of Babel was 5,433 cubits high,
5,433 cubits high, as you see down here in this verse down below. 5-4, Super Bowl 54 coincides with that 5,400. 33, the Super Bowl 54 was played on the 33rd day. 33rd day, which was February 2nd, happens to be Groundhog Day. So there is a connection with the confirmation, in my opinion. They are confirming that we are in Babylon through this ceremony, which occurred during the halftime show of Super Bowl 54 on the 33rd day. Now, the Kansas City Chiefs has an emblem, their logo, I should say, is an arrowhead. The significance of the arrowhead is mentioned in the book of Jasher. Pull up verses on that. The book of Jasher, as the inhabitants of Babel, as they built the tower, they took with themselves arrows to shoot into heaven as to assault the heavenly host. And they believed that they were being successful because the sons of God tricked them by putting blood on the tips of the arrows, on the arrowheads, to give them a false sense of success before they were actually destroyed. So the arrows being shot into heaven, we see commercial ad. We have seen a cologne ad showing this this type of a hybrid human shooting an arrow from a high platform, which that is a representation of the Tower of Babel as it was presented in the book of Jasher. These people shooting arrows into heaven. Now, arrowhead, Kansas City Chiefs logo, being shot into the sky in the 33rd Jubilee on a tower 5,433 cubits high. All the numbers are there. This is no coincidence that these numbers are lining up. This is their way of telling us that we are Babylon. And this Super Bowl halftime celebration was very relevant in the symbolism of Babylon on the brink of destruction, being scattered. Shortly thereafter, after the Super Bowl, the economy was shut down due to COVID-19. The masses were, as it were, scattered from being assembled. Social distancing, there's a symbolism of being scattered. Now, as we all know, at the Tower of Babel, 2/3 of the population was destroyed. 1/3 survived. This is spoken of in Jasher. Of course, 1/3 of the population was cursed and turned into ape-like creatures and elephant-like creatures. So there's your origin of ape men, people, of men deriving from apes. There's some truth into that. I don't want to sound like I'm losing my mind. The truth of ape men, the whole idea of apes, like Planet of the Apes and all that, it came from the event of the Tower of Babel. The Lord cursed 1/3 of the population building that tower and turned them into ape-like creatures and elephant-like creatures. 1/3 was destroyed and the other 1/3 was scattered, and the languages were scattered and was diversified after being one language. This is all so relevant. I believe they are signifying that we are Babylon, and we are more than likely in the midst of the tribulation, and Babylon is at the brink of destruction. Babylon is at the brink of destruction, but there is hope. Romans 10:13. Call on the name of the Lord and ye shall be saved. Matthew 24:14 must be fulfilled. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. With that being said, may the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ be with us all.